The conclusion of a two-day event to celebrate the 2025 National Diaspora Day has cast a landmark for assessing the contributions of Nigerians living to abroad, leaving to abroad to their home country as well as Nigeria's image abroad. Now, held at the Banquet Hall of the Presidential Villa, it brought together dignitaries, stakeholders, and Nigerians in the diaspora. The event, now an annual celebration, serves as a platform to recognize the contributions of Nigerians living abroad to national development. Now, let's make some sense of this, as President Bola Tinubu may only be hours away from hosting a high-level gathering that will bring together African ambassadors, foreign envoys, and captains of industry to promote deeper engagement between Africa and its diaspora through tourism, culture, and investment. And for that, we cross over to Abuja, where State House correspondent Bettina Nweli is standing by for a preview of the event. Now, Bettina, good afternoon. Thank you very much for joining. Nigeria's diaspora prospects have been front and center of the conversations at the presidency lately. So what are we to expect at this event?
Well, thank you very much, Mazino. Now, this event is scheduled to hold for 4 p.m., and we expect that this high-level gathering will bring together African ambassadors, foreign envoys, captains of industry, and key tourism stakeholders to mark a pivotal moment in promoting deeper engagement between Africa and its diaspora through tourism. Now, we expect that the chief host is going to be the president of Nigeria, President Bola Tinubu. He's supposed to be acting as the global brand ambassador and chief host, as well as the patron of the Motherland Beckons IPADA initiative. I'm looking forward to this very much because I think that it's high time that Nigerians in Nigeria actually meet up with Nigerians in diaspora and work together in order to make the country what we all hope for it to be.
Well, Bettina, thank you very much. I'm going to let you go for now because I do have another guest here, Jibola Bitoye. Let's return to the studio where she is joining us. She's a Canadian politician and city councillor representing Fort Saskatchewan in Alberta, Canada. She joins me now for a deeper dive into the conversation. Ajibola, you're welcome. So, Ajibola, it appears this is the season of increased diaspora awareness, let's put it so. Partly explains why you are in the country at the moment, if I'm not mistaken. So what should be the major talking points for maximum advantage from democracy to youth's empowerment and also inclusion for women?
Absolutely, thank you, and very nice to be here. So yes, I was here this weekend for the Diaspora Day. It was celebrated by NIDCOM, and I think that the diaspora is not just the pride abroad, but it's a strategic asset, you know, for this country that can be leveraged for us for national growth. You know, we've heard the numbers. Remittances annually from the diaspora is $20 billion. Now, those are funds that have been sent to this country for consumption, right? But how can we transfer these funds for actual sustainable development, you know? So I think that Nigerians have done so well in the diaspora. We see them excelling in medicine, in tech, and in all kinds of industry. The question is, how can we bring it back? We need a structure. Like, I know that diasporans really want to give back, but they just want and need a clear structure that this is possible, you know. So I think for me personally, youth and women empowerment is so important to me. And we know that, you know, whether it's in science, it's in medicine, that we can find diasporans that are interested in giving back to our nation.
Yes, indeed. Give back to Nigeria. So only days ago, there was the Diaspora Day celebration, which has now become an annual event. So beyond the meetings, what are the core areas of insight that Nigeria should be plugging in tourism, culture, and investment?
I believe that, like I said, there's a lot of opportunities out there. I think that our youth, we need to really invest in our youth because I'll give an example. Like I was in a car driven by a driver, and the gentleman ate a piece of corn and threw it out the window as soon as it was done, and I was in shock. I was in shock because this is something that's not normal where we're coming from in Canada or in most developed countries. And I think that we need to start to look at how do we start to teach our youth moral ethics? How do we start to teach them how to behave well, because I think that's, this normal behavior where things are just out of whack, we need to start to change the narrative and teach our youth how to behave properly, So I think that the government can start to look at programs that can be brought and transferred, from the diaspora, whether it's skills, whether it's ethics, whether it's trades, whatever it is. There's just a lot of opportunities that the government should start to look at the diaspora. And gratefully, NIDCOM, which is the organization that invited us for the event for the Diaspora Day, they just launched a program called Home and Abroad. I'm a licensed real estate agent, and I know that lots of people are looking to give back and invest in this country, but because they're so afraid, they don't want their money to go elsewhere. And so NIDCOM has provided a place for people to be able to come and purchase investments with assurances and confidence, knowing that their money is not going to get misplaced. So I'll say the government needs to just provide us platform for us to be able to give back the way we want to.
Yeah, but coming from where you're coming from, which is Canada, and as an elected official, isn't that easier for you there than it would be here? I mean, what can Nigerian youth do differently to achieve transformation here?
So there's a lot that can be done, but the thing is that the government has to provide the platform for that to happen. Like, for example, I'm a city councillor. I sit on my youth council. So we have a council of youths, and what they do is that they liaise with the government and the youth. So basically, they stand as a medium for the government to know what the needs of the youths are, right? So can we provide that platform where youths can come together and they can liaise with the government to know firsthand what exactly does the youth need? Because I think we can't continue to provide programs without the input of the youth. So I think that we can start first by providing a platform where they come together, a formal youth council, that then they can now come to the government to tell them, like, these are the things that we need, and the government can provide a structure for them to provide that. Also, there's an opportunity for knowledge exchange. There's a lot of opportunity for digital knowledge exchange. Like, people don't have to come here and relocate here. There's things that people know abroad. If we provide a platform for that knowledge exchange, and whether that's knowledge exchange or transfers or somehow to be able to provide that knowledge gap, we can be able to provide that by filling the gap, but that platform needs to be provided for the youth to be able to do that exchange.
Ajibola, when you talk about exchange, when you talk about remittances, it's very easy to say, but how can people, especially in the diaspora, be rest assured that whatever it is they're putting in, trying to help the youth here in Nigeria, is being regulated properly, is not being perhaps maybe lost to some unscrupulous or corrupt practice?
Why we need the government, and I keep saying the government, because the government is the one that's able to provide the structure and the platform for people to be able to do that. So for me personally and a group of others, so there's 4 Nigerian councillors, we work together, Nigerian Canadian councillors, we work together to figure out how we can, give back based on the skills that we received abroad. And so we're reaching out to government parastatals to see how we can sit down and provide programs, to help our, because again, I say the youths they are our future. Like, we know that this generation, there's really not much we can do with this generation, but there's a lot we can still do with the youth, So just providing those platforms for them, programs, specific programs, structured programs. And again, the diaspora really wants to give back. And I've spoken to many diasporans, and they really want to give back and be able to, be impactful to their home nation, right? But if we provide a program that makes them confident that, okay, I'm able to give my money towards this or give my time towards this, we can get teachers, we can get mentors from the diaspora, we can get skills, trade skills. Like, I'm from the city of Fort Saskatchewan. Fort Saskatchewan is a very industrial community. So we have like oil and gas, we have polyethylene, we have fertilizers, we have all kinds of industries, right? So, and they're trades. So we can bring those trade skills for kids to come and learn from a young age. UNICEF has a number, 8.1 million youths drop out from GSS 3. At GSS 3, you're just, 13 years old? So, but if we're able to provide a structure for those kids to be able to learn some trade, if it's carpentry, if it's painting, if it's pipe fitting, there's just all kinds of trades and opportunities that if they are empowered with, they could be very, very, very valuable to our nation. And they won't be like on the streets and become criminals tomorrow. So I think, again, it still comes down to the government. We are ready to partner with the government, but we just need a proper platform to be able to do it and structure to be able to make it happen. Because again, the youth are the leaders of tomorrow, and we need and absolutely have to empower them.
Well, Ajibola Abitoye, I want to say thank you very much for joining us today on the news. Thank you.
Have me.